And we are live. Welcome, welcome everyone. Really excited to have you here in the Ninja Lounge, and excited to have Lance and Jared here with us today. They are building something kind of like really kind of completely different from what you've seen over there, like in regards of the concept, etc. But let's get to know in first place though who is Jared, and who is the team behind the project. So, Jared, welcome to the Ninja Lounge. If you could please give us an introduction of yourself. Who are you? What is your experience within the crypto space, and maybe outside of the crypto space, like what you've been involved with?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me. Hey guys, my name's Jared. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Two Lands. My work experience is vast. I'm a little older. I'm 45. I'm a dad. I've been doing a lot of things in my adult life. I started my career as a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley. I segued a couple of years later after that, and I became a recording artist with Columbia Records, J Records, and I was on the road for many years. I went into restaurant ownership, and I still operate a few restaurants out of a large group here in the New York tri-state area. I live in Connecticut, but right on the border of New York. So that's kind of what I've been up to. My partner, Zach, we've worked together in a separate business for the last 3 years now. And, he comes from a diverse background as well, real estate management, all kinds of things. So, I had a passion for finance and all things stocks, and I guess now crypto, when I got involved in Morgan Stanley many years ago, and I've always done some day trading on the side. So it just seemed like a natural fit. I'm kind of a fast-paced person, so I just love the 24 hours of it, if you will. People probably recognize that. I don't sleep much. so that's a little bit about me.
Cool stuff. And definitely broad, kind of like well experienced over there. I've had the chance to kind of like know more about you and Zach through the group. I've been following for quite a long time, as I was saying before the recording. So yeah, really excited of what you guys are bringing into this space. So let's touch how you guys came together, how you guys came with the idea of Two Lands token, and actually why Two Lands? Why the name? What does it mean?
Great question. All right, so Two Lands, we're a GameFi project with a lot of different various verticals into our ecosystem, a lot of different revenue streams. That said, when Zach and I decided that we wanted to do a project, we had to find an intersection in our passions. Turns out we both have a passion for ancient history and the mysteries of the universe, our origin story, and learning more about what's out there, and basically how we only know 6% of our recorded history, right? So for us, when we immediately found that intersection, it made only sense that we would find a project that would represent that best. We gravitated towards ancient Egypt because of the pyramids and all the different lore about it, and people tend to gravitate towards as well. Tons of movies are made on it. There's endless NFTs. We've been dubbed the Indiana Jones meets the Da Vinci Code of blockchain for various riddles, various cryptics, all this kind of fun stuff in our marketing, and that's going to play out later into our ecosystem. But the name Two Lands actually is what ancient Egypt was called before it was actually called Egypt as we know it. It was divided into upper and lower, otherwise known as the Two Lands. So it seemed only fitting. That duality played a major role in their history and their culture, and we always envisioned it as the Two Lands, meaning the world we live in now and the metaverse. And we've just had the opportunity to partner with TCG World, and we're going to be building out an expansive plot in their metaverse. So it's going to come to fruition, I guess.
Right on. Cool. As you mentioned earlier, when it comes to the history, etc., even the ancient, even with the countries actually as individual, because I grew up in Greece, right, and ancient Greece, stuff has a huge history, but as you said, like we don't know kind of like the full story of it. What has survived, even what we've been taught or what you can find online. Even online, you can find all the info because we have a lot of kind of like private collectors, etc. Either from the stolen ones, from as you mentioned, from the ancient pyramids. There have been so many things, so many stuff stolen from there, which we don't know. Like it's a big part of the history. So the concept itself, I think that's really cool, and will kind of like pique the interest of people over there of what you're building, which will touch down the road of what you're building, how how kind of like you will pick their interest. What's the project overall? Like, what is there any problem out there that you guys are solving, and if yes, how do you plan to solve it?
Yeah, great question. Well, it is a high mission project. So when we thought about it, that passion was like, all right, so how do we try and fix the problem? And the problem in ancient archaeology is funding. In order for them to go out there and find cool stuff and keep digging it up and trying to change history and rewrite it as we know it, they need money. So for us, it made sense to start a project where we could use various different revenue streams to help fund ancient archaeology around the world. So even though we're starting at the Giza Plateau, we intend to visit other cultures as we continue to scale. Regarding how we're doing that, it's interesting. We actually just filed, we have a lot of for-profit stuff within our company, but one of the things we're very proud of, which is starting to really take wings, to put our money where our mouth is in regards to helping ancient archaeology, is it's pretty neat. We're using, we just filed a nonprofit here in the state of Connecticut called the Everdeen Initiative. So think Hunger Games movie where they drop the care packages from the sky. So we're going to use that nonprofit and various other things within our ecosystem to help raise awareness and essentially raise funding. The very first project that we're extremely thrilled about to be partaking, and I think probably a press release is going to go out sometime next week because we're fleshing out the details, is we're going to be helping to put a robot in a hidden shaft, a sand-filled cavity within the Great Pyramid of Giza. It hasn't been seen in 4,500 years. It's right underneath. It's called the Big Void, and they drilled in 1986, but they weren't able to get through the sand. And now there's technology coming out of University of Sacramento, that they could get this little kind of cool little snake-like robot in. But all they need is the funding. So our Everdeen Initiative is actually going to be the conduit to help raise that funding and deal with the Egyptian antiquities and all that stuff to hopefully get it in. So more to come there. But from a high level overview, that's the high mission of the project. And then within that and within our ecosystem, we have a couple games. We could talk about that. We're pretty excited to announce that we're going to be filming a docu-series to go to Amazon Prime Direct. That starts filming next weekend, which we're pretty excited about on the 22nd. So the thought behind the docu-series was for us to essentially be the most KYC'd and doxed team in crypto. And we wanted to do it for a couple different reasons, but it's a reality style show, but it's unscripted. But the thought behind it was, crypto has become such a dirty word, if you will. And for us, we saw it as an opportunity to not only showcase our project, sure, there's that, but to really kind of document, a week in the life of a dev team and all the people we interact with, people like this lounge and various other people that we talk to on a regular basis, to really to give the average viewer out there that's not crypto-centric, if you will, an idea of what it truly takes to take a project like this and go public with it. So the hope was, number one, obviously, it was going to do some marketing and it's going to be a lot of fun to film. And I think it's going to give people a real glimpse into the behind the scenes of not only this project, but how a project actually goes to market. But my hope is that people, when they see it, and it's going to be pitched to Netflix, it's already got pitched to Wonder Films, and we're going to pitch it to a lot of different other networks. But my hope is that when people that aren't in crypto see it, they'll have a new appreciation for kind of what it takes. And that's like this space, crypto in general. It's just a lot of normal people that would be in other jobs, doing other businesses, and they're good people trying to do good things and use blockchain to change the world. So I'm hoping we can change, or at least we can help change the narrative a bit, to bring some positivity into the blockchain space.
Right. Yeah, as we were saying yesterday when you joined RBC, I think this AMA has so many details and so many things that you can deep dive and keep talking. But I will try to kind of like limit myself and, go through the most
Sure.
important stuff over here for everyone who is listening at the same time, so we can respect everyone's time. On first place, all these donations and kind of like fund raising and helping that you guys are plan to do. Is this kind of like going to bring a revenue back to the project? Because I'm not sure how it works, but when people when a team discovers something, etc., they get grants from organizations or from the country, from the government, etc. Is that true? And is this kind of like you could say sort of revenue at the same time for the project itself?
Well, let me give you a couple examples. So regarding revenue, sure, we can apply for grants, and we will, because it's a registered 501c3 here. So which gives tax benefits for people that are going to donate to the cause. And we're going to do various different things and various different partnerships to raise awareness to the cause. But just a couple things that we're going to tie into the Evergreen Initiative, that is going to create and generate revenue is we're coming out with a beer here in the United States, and we partnered with a brewery called Chatham Brewery, and that's going to be in stores and also in restaurants starting in late July. And we also have a gin coming out here as well, and that's going to be circulating between 15 states in the United States, and also they're looking to do some distribution in the UK as well as Singapore. So all that, and what those companies are able to do is they're able to take the tax benefit from our collaboration, donate say $1 or $2 from their side to go towards the Evergreen Initiative, the nonprofit, but also provides multiple revenue streams for us, because we're talking to some of the largest distribution houses in the liquor business in the East Coast. So you're going to start to see our liquor and our beer and just about any liquor store you go to in this area, so, and restaurant as well. So sure, from that perspective, from a real world perspective, it's going to bring in tangible revenue to our company, but also a part of it's going to get funneled to the charity as well. So it's a win-win. That's how we see it.
What kind of like percentage could you say that the alcohol distribution is gonna be when it comes to the project? Could you say like it's going to be the 20% of the revenue coming towards the project, or more or less?
Probably a little less. I would gather more like, well, for instance, the beer is probably going to be like $1 or $2 per can. That's what we're discussing. Regarding the liquor, it really depends on what style. It's going to be a gin, but it really depends on what we want to package it for. It has a lot to do with also the distribution house and what they want to sell it for. So, obviously the distillery is going to have to make money. So it's going to be a conversation with them where it's essentially, what's their sweet spot? What do they need to make? Because they're going to be funding all, the product, right? And we're attaching our name to it, and we're going to be helping get placements as well. So I would gather somewhere in the 10%, if I were to guess, somewhere in there. And that's just, that's just one of the things that would be my guess.
No, I like it because, if you were saying like, 50, 60%, it could be like a bit risky over there in case, like, let's say the beer, it's not something that you can sell. It's not a product that consumers prefer. And when it comes to the gin, same, likewise. So yeah, I like that. I like the fact that it's going to be a small percentage of the revenue coming back to the project in case, like, it turns to be risky kind of like move.
For us,
but
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, for us, it doesn't cost us anything because we don't have to put up any money. It's just free marketing. That's how we see it. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Our revenue is going to come from our various different NFTs, in addition to our 2 games that we have coming out. And the way we structured that to separate game and token economies, that's where our real revenue is going to come from, at least in the beginning stages. And we're also just partnered with TCG World, as well as Lulu Market. So we're going to be doing collaborations with Lulu Market and the NFT and some game interoperability there. And then TCG World's going to be helping us build out a mega plot near the ancient ruins in their metaverse. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity for revenue there. So we're really excited about it. Those are the core tenets, of as far as revenue generating in the next 2-3 months. The beer, the gin, they're fun, but we're not looking to make significant money. For us, that's a way to, raise brand awareness because we are a brand, and also to give back in a way through our charity.
Awesome. In regards now the docu-series, which you said that you're going to start filming next week, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So in regards of how was that? How are you guys covering all the expenses? And if you can start
Sure.
off that, like, because I want to touch then later. My next question will be like, what fundraising how do you guys have so far, VC funding, all
Sure.
that stuff.
Of course. Yeah. Well, largely the majority of the project was funded by Zach and I personally, especially for the first of 2Lands has been going at it now. November will be 2 years. So, like, for instance, the game video that you just saw, we funded that out of our own pocket. We then held a private sale, or I should say a seed sale, not a private sale, with close family and friends. We held that last summer, and we raised $80K before we even had a website. It was really just word of mouth. In order to be SEC compliant in the United States here, we weren't able to advertise it. So, we just reached out to some family and friends, and the key for us was to keep them. They had to be accredited investor, at least majority accredited, meaning they had to have a net worth over $1 million, or at least an annual income of $200,000-300,000 a year, just so the SEC views it as essentially they can take that risk to put whatever it is that they could afford the hit if they lost their investment. So we did that last year, and then now we just started our second sale, if you will, but our first private sale, and it's live now. It ends this coming Friday. So as far as like the docuseries filming and much of the stuff we've done up until now has come primarily from either out of our own pockets and some of our initial friends and family raise. So.
Okay, so you have you have their passion people that it's sometimes tricky, like having investors in for a long time, then they will be like when. So, but that's cool. And since we touched a bit on that, so we said about the seed sale and private sale, which is ongoing. Can you touch a bit on the how much are you raising in total? What other sales do you have? And maybe we touch a bit on the vesting as well. So we take this out of our notes.
Yeah, so you can find that information right over on our website, on our Telegram. But we're looking to raise $125K at a $2.5 million valuation. It's zero TGE. We've added some really cool perks for different tier levels. We're collecting in ETH, in USDT, I believe, but we've added, so there's a minimum contribution of 250. However, if you wanted to go up, there's different tiers. So I think there's 0.5 ETH, 1 ETH, and 2 ETH. And with that comes, you'll get as a complimentary gift, you'll get access passes that come complete with essentially the most rare NFTs that we'll ever offer. And within those access passes, there's some really cool benefits that, from Amazon gift cards to actually winning your own plot within the TCG World Metaverse and various other things, winning a trip, or at least being put your name being put in twice to the trip that we're raffling off. Someone's going to come with me to the Giza Plateau. So there's some cool perks and joining our secret society, lifetime access, which is going to be essentially, and you're going to hear about in our secret society, the members are going to hear about everything first before any news drops. So we're looking forward to having the first secret society in the metaverse. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Right on. I mean, again, with the raise and actually the vesting, you have the graph, which I'm gonna send in the main chat right now for everyone to have a look, in case that you cannot see my screen.
That vesting is actually for the friends and family. Just so you know, that was the original, which was 8%. Yeah. Which was 8%.
Okay. Since we are touching now on the tokenomics, I can see 10% of the it's for the team itself. Is this 10% token allocation? Is this the only kind of like source of revenue for the team? I know that you guys have put your own investment. So is this your payout over there, or you have other kind of like revenues from the project going towards the team?
Yeah, we're going to vest our tokens for 48 months. We have no interest in selling our own token. It's just not who we are. It's like, if you're running a big company like Walmart or something, you're not selling your stock, to live, right? So for us, because we have access to a lot of real world utilities and revenue streams, we'll be taking salaries from those things. So again, everything we do is to mitigate sell pressure. So we would never want to sell our own tokens because that'll drive the value of the product down, right? So for us, and that was key. And when we built our game and separating those token economies, because that's a big issue in GameFi. They pay out rewards in their own token, and what happens is people sell the token, and they create their own sell pressure. So for us, it was just like, we don't even care. We'll vest the tokens out for 48 months. We have no interest in them, frankly. For us, we're a brand, and our focus is continuing to develop brand relationships to take on income from there, those revenue streams that don't affect our token, but only in the positive, because those brands will continue to get eyes on the project and develop relationships. Then we'll just bring more people into the project. So that's kind of how we see it.
Yeah. Really well thought, to be honest, over there. And the team tokens, it's always like big red flag, let's say, a big concern overall, like, when it comes to the vesting, the amount of it, like, why so many tokens, etc. But sometimes people do not realize the time, efforts, and the energy that the teams are putting towards a project, and of course the money on top of everything. So yeah, but as long as these are secured, locked over there for a long period of time, and makes it safe for. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, same with our friends and family. They're vested. We did it in order to be SEC compliant here in the United States. You have to vest at a bare minimum of 1 year. So that's just standard. But what we did is we only offered 25% on their initial investment after that 1 year. So their full withdrawal will come after 18 months if they. So we wanted to stagger it so everyone wasn't just dumping. And we limited it to only 8%, where we wouldn't feel too much anyways. We're fortunate that for the last 9 months, we our lead advisor, you may know, is Tony Drummond from as the former CEO and founder of MicroPets. So we've had a leg up, if you will, because we were able to. Well, first of all, he's a tokenomics master, but beyond that, he's very well versed in the space, taking his project to where he did. So we were able to kind of navigate a lot of the pros that happened that worked well for his project, but also if he were to do it again with a second project, what would he do differently? So for us, that was incredibly valuable. In a lot of ways, and especially beyond our tokenomics, but just how we set up our game, separating those token economies was instrumental, and I think it's going to really help reduce that sell pressure when it goes live.
Absolutely. Now, with everything that's going on, right now, we have so many events with SEC. So, could you say overall and down the road that you are kind of like SEC compliant and friends with these guys? And where do you stand when it comes to that part of regulations? Like, is everything covered? Do you have lawyers? Because you have real world kind of like utilities, and you have linked real assets out there with crypto project.
Sure. Well, the key is to not get labeled as a security, right? So that's why we held that initial sale the way we did, because we fell under a regulation where we were able to bypass that. Moving forward, it's just it's more of the same. It's just making sure that the way you're classified is essentially, when you're not reflecting as a security, you're offering something, but nothing in essentially an exchange. It's just, there's a fine line. Regarding the SEC, look, we all know regulation is coming, and that's why the very first thing we did before we even had a website was to hire Murtha Kalina, which is a prominent law firm in the New York State area here. And they're the ones who set up that subscription agreement. Then we went on and spoke with other attorneys, and now, since we're partnered with TCG World, they have a team of a train of attorneys, if you will. So we're in good shape in that regard, where we have the advice we need, because the rules are changing, and the SEC seems to make up their mind. Something changes every day. So, it's certainly on our radar. Sure, we're protected. Plus, we've protected ourselves. We have the ability to take things offshore as well if need be, like a lot of companies and a lot of exchanges do. So, we'll see day by day. The most important thing we can do is protect the company from that it's an LLC. So we're able to protect ourselves and protect our identities by forming that LLC. And then through there, as we continue to, take on new businesses within Two-Land's ecosystem, they'll probably have separate LLCs as well. Or S Corps, we haven't decided yet, but yeah, trust us, we are taking every precaution. because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, as you said, like you never know what's going on with SSC. Every day things change, and you need like to have a kind of like a good team or connections or partners, like being up to date and helping you with these processes. Cool. So now within your white paper, I've seen quite a few of times your ecosystem being sustainable. If you can touch a bit, because we have quite a few of new joiners joined us. Explain what is your ecosystem, what does it consists from, and how is it sustainable compared to same or similar ecosystems out there?
Sure, good question. Well, I think it falls back to separating our lands token. So really, let's talk gaming, right? So we have 2 games coming out, but the one that you're kind of looking at is going to be a trivia concept called Pharaohs of Aru. It's going to be an NFT concept trivia game, very created to be very viral. So what we wanted to do, and with the help of Tony from Micropets, was we wanted to separate those token economies, meaning you'd have to use our lands token to get into the game. There's a freemium version as well, but if you were going to go the paid route, you'd have to use our lands token to get into the game. However, if you wanted to be paid out in rewards or take prizes, they won't be taken in lands token. They'll be taken, in ETH or Tether, or even we're going to have partnered with a company called WeGift, which has 1,300 digital gift cards around the world. So you'll be able to take but rewards in, Amazon cards or you name it, which will help too with KOLs when they go out promoting our project, because they're reloadable and redeemable. So we access something called the network effect, where PayPal, Etsy, and all those companies did, where refer a friend and receive something. So when you refer a player or a friend to the Pharaohs of Aru trivia game, you'll then when they purchase something in the shop, you'll be able to redeem a gift card, be it Nike, Adidas, wherever you want, Uber, and so on and so forth. But the key for us was when you're looking at that, the NFTs, we wanted to make sure we weren't selling them in our own token, because in order to use that money to build our ecosystem, right, goes back to the fact that we'd have to sell our own token, which is not great. So for us, we're selling them in ETH. So we're selling them in Ethereum, which is going to create that one-way street, as I like to call it. You want to come into the game and play it and have fun? Well, there's a free version, but if you want to come in, buy the NFTs, win the rewards, get the gift cards, various power-ups, essentially take your pharaoh from a sarcophagus to a mummy to a pharaoh, all the way up to god status, while you're purchasing consumables and playing trivia and all various types of things within it. Well, you'll buy those in ETH, and then so basically it's that one-way street. Token in, but you're not getting it on the back end.
Right. Yeah, I really like that, because you are reducing kind of like the selling pressure over there, as you were saying. There are really good projects, gaming projects out there, which but they are not good when it comes to the structure of of how they will reward the users, and this is where they are failing. They have really great ideas, really good games, but that's kind of like the failing part over there. So they will be buying with ETH, right? And so once they buy an NFT or consumable asset, what's the distribution of these funds? Let's say I buy one NFT, where that X amount of ETH goes to?
Well, it's going to go to our company marketing wallet, right? So it's going to be a price point. It's going to be about $65. We're targeting that. There'll be some additional consumables. So the way the game will work, and those are some of the consumable assets in Pharaohs, just a few of them. But the way it's going to work is you'll be able to purchase, when you buy your NFT, you're going to be given a sarcophagus and a free tool. The free tool is going to open your sarcophagus and spit out a mummy. That mummy then is going to be able to transform over time, and you're going to turn it into a pharaoh, and then work your way all the way up to god status, building pyramids, playing trivia, various time trivia. You'll be getting experience points all along the way that will be able to be redeemed for things in game, as well as working your way up towards god status, which is going to probably give you a bunch of other rewards as well. As you go, you'll be able to play, various different you'll be able to play against people. It's going to be pretty fun. And the way we engineered the game is to essentially be as viral as possible. The first thing we wanted to do is was decide what makes people want to play a game. And then, and really the large amount of it is not addiction. That's a terrible word, but a large part of gaming is simply being addictive. So before we came up with the concept, we came up with trivia because it's largely untapped in this particular market, Web3. So, and we also know some of the most famous and successful games in history, and television shows for that matter, are trivia games. So for us, we delved a bit deeper, and we tried to figure out why that was. And it turns out to human condition, psychology. So it's pain points and dopamine hits and all that kind of stuff. Let's face it, people like being paid for and rewarded for being right. So for us, we looked at it and then we reversed engineered like the human condition, if you will. And made it so it's going to be a really super addicting, almost like Candy Crush game, like very, very addicting, that we could potentially, try and get to go viral, and just general public, not even crypto people, through our freemium version, and then slowly convert them. Like, for instance, my 12-year-old daughter, I would consult her on it a lot, when she's playing Roblox or something. I said, well, what makes that fun? Why would you do that instead of doing this? And I would try to identify those pain points. But at the end of the day, if she's not going to find it fun and can't figure out how to play it in literally like a minute, with the onboarding being as easy as possible, well then, it's never going to be a success. So those are one of the things that we're really focused on, was easy onboarding, super virality by being addictive, hitting those pain points, those psychological, points where people want to keep playing, and then making it just really fun and enjoyable, and learning something and being rewarded for stuff. So that's kind of how we approached that particular game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Especially when it comes to the onboarding, there have been some kind of like reports, like if people spend more, I can't remember, more than 30 seconds on kind of like setting everything up to play a game, etc., they will kind of like give up, right? So you want like a game, easy access, not complicated, user friendly for everyone, and just get them to play. Straightforward.
Yeah.
Cool. So now, when it comes to the reward part of it, where do the rewards come from? Where are they being injected from?
Yeah, well, the rewards
from the taxes. Do you have any taxes? For those who don't know, I know, but
no, I'm sorry. So there'll be two. Well, there'll be our own in-game hard currency, right? EXP, if you want to look at it that way, which essentially we print, so it's free. And those rewards will be redeemable for other things within our ecosystem, right? So you'll be winning those EXP, but also those gift cards will come when you win certain things as well, or when you refer people to it. So you'll be able to take rewards in that. And then there'll be prizes and raffles and all that kind of fun stuff that we're doing, so people can generate, be it ETH or USD, or, however we're going to pay it out in various different ways to make it as accessible for people as possible. So there'll be multiple ways that we're, essentially, look, we want everyone to win, right? There's no point in spending a bunch of money on a game that no one's going to play and they're not going to have fun and they don't think they can make money. So that's how we started it. And then we said to ourselves, all right, so we have that concept. How do we make everyone happy? So we have an awesome game. They all get what they want. And it's super addicting. And then, from there, and then who we're going to hire to build it, right? So that's when we contracted. We've been in chats with Robot Sea Monster, who did Axie, and we've been talking to them for about a year. Even with our Endless Runner game, the other game that you saw earlier. So they have their experience, and it was from them and dealing with them and Axie, we realized some of the pain points that they had within their ecosystem, and that's why it was so imperative for us to separate those game and token economies. So that's the user core loop. Basically, it comes in, I can't read it because it's so small, but basically the concept is you get in and you loop around and you loop around and you loop around. You're able to collect EXP, earn rewards, play more, shop, essentially it loops you around, it loops you around. So that's just the basic the psychology of the game, if you break it down into, bare bones.
Do you have any kind of like, I don't know, any visuals or anything like that, but how much time do people need to spend in order, let's say, just assume like to win a $10 Amazon gift card, for example?
Well, it's funny. Everyone's going to win. So one of the things that's super addicting about trivia is not only being rewarded for things that you know, but also rewarding for things that you don't know. So the rewards are going to be, and Zach could speak at more length about this. I'm sorry he couldn't be here, but for him, he came up with the idea where experience points are going to be, and hard currency is going to be paid out whether you're right or wrong. So that's what's going to keep you playing. And there's going to be timed trials. There's going to be daily check-ins, similar to like when my daughter plays Roblox. We're taking a couple cues from that stuff. So it's going to be fairly easy for people to take profits and win rewards. It's just not going to be in our token. It would make no sense. We'd essentially be telling people to go sell our token. Just like I'm not going to take my token and sell it to make money. We're not going to let someone just tank our project to take rewards. We can pay them the same amount of money, in another token, right? So that's how we came about. But and the other cool thing which we haven't mentioned yet is our digital treasure hunt. And there's going to be clues buried not only throughout our ecosystem, but it's going to be buried in that trivia game as well to try and drive people to. That's I think it's way at the end, but that's going to be in there too. It's almost like the Willy Wonka golden ticket type of effect, where there's going to be clues buried so people can kind of go find them. For those of you that don't know the project, we're also going to be doing the first or the largest global digital treasure hunt. It's going to come in the form of a riddle. We're going to be releasing a riddle that's 24 lines long, and it's going to lead to a digital treasure. We're having a cryptex. If you don't know what a cryptex is, it's this cylindrical thing. If you've seen it actually in the Da Vinci Code movie itself, the guy who built the one for the movie is building ours a custom one. And within our cryptex, which will be kept somewhere safe, probably a safety deposit box, but we'll be keeping it somewhere safe. Within that, the riddle will lead to a word, and that word will essentially unlock that cryptex where 1% of our entire project, our total supply, will be in there for someone to find. So we're really looking forward to that. And there's all types of clues that have been buried throughout our ecosystem and all our marketing from literally day one. It's been the most thing we're the most excited about and most passionate about. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff in that game as well to try and drive people to play the game and download the game, because it will be on App Store and Google Play, and also available in the TCG World Metaverse as well.
Oh, wow, 1%. That's someone gonna be really like you over there. Pretty good.
We wanted to change someone's life. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to show that blockchain could be really a good thing for the world. That's why we're doing the docu-series, so we can let people and teach people and lead them to believe that, blockchain could be good for the future. And then we also wanted to give back to the community that have been following us, and that are going to be supporting us when we launch, because ultimately it's them. We wouldn't have a project without them. So that's why we're going to be also there's going to be at least 1 or 2 holders that are going to take a trip with me to Giza, and we're going to take them all around the ancient sites, because we like to give back. It's important, because without community, you have nothing, right? So for us, we wanted to, and even with the treasure hunt, it's really less about finding the treasure. We wanted to inspire people to get off the couch. And don't get me wrong, you will be able to solve this riddle from your couch. It's not easy, and there's a lot going on in there. But in theory, you could figure it out right from your couch. But, the whole thought process was to get out, get people off their phones, and get out and explore and have some fun, stimulate that inner explorer in people. Right? That's why those type of movies, those Indiana Jones movies, are so successful, is because it excites something in us as people, right? And that's really what this project was about, exciting someone and getting them passionate about something. And that's the core ethos of this entire project. So that's why for the treasure hunt, for us, it's really more about the thrill of the chase. Yes, someone's going to have the ability to win 1% of our entire project. It's going to be buried and hidden somewhere really fun. And but I'm hoping that it's the journey, it's the people out there sharing clues and trying to decipher it together. That's just gonna, create a whole new community of, the digital pioneers.
Absolutely. I'm a gamer. I mean, myself, but I used actually to play a lot of games, learn all about to learn, and learning about history. I'm a fan of history as well.
Sure.
I think it will get people's interest over there, because it's all about learning. Now, when it comes to learning, and since where did you guys get all kind of the information, all the data for the questions, etc., for the game? What is your source? Is it just online or?
Yeah, I mean, we have access. Well, one of the things too is that the man who's building. Yeah, we can use AI, like AI, but you got to be careful because you don't want people to solve it, right? So there's various forms of that. There's troves and troves of trivia questions and stuff out there for other trivia games, so we can access that. But also too, we're fortunate in that the guy's name is Justin Nevins, who is he's the one who's building the custom cryptex for us. He owns a geocaching company as well, and he's really tied into the whole gaming, from or treasure and trivia lifestyle. So he has access to some of the top people in the world doing that, which because it's kind of a small community. So he's fairly tapped in there. So we'll be leaning on him for those resources. But it's just going to be a collective. And hey, anyone in the community want to send us some questions? We'll try and get them in there. Why not? Right? It's endless. Trivia questions are endless.
All right, Tom. When it comes to the games now, so you said that you have 2 games. At what stage are right now? Are they finalized, completed, or not yet? And if yes, where people kind of find them? Where can they download? Are they going to be browser-based or mobile-based?
Sure, right. So it's going to be everything based, right? So the pyramid scheme, the endless runner that you saw in the trailer at the beginning, that's in beta. So we already have the first 3 levels built, and we're going to be building some more. We're finding a way to implement that as soon as into our TCG metaverse, also on the App Store and Google Play. Guy built that. I used to work at Miniclip for 20 years, and he's bought 20 or 30 different games just in the past couple of years on the App Store and Google Play, which is fortunate for us because sometimes it's tricky. It's difficult, especially with the App Store, to get on. So we're fortunate that we have resources like him, but also Tony from Micropets in his game, and also Robot Sea Monster working on the Pharaohs of Aru project. So probably within 2 months, 2-3 months, everything. That's what we're waiting to do. We're waiting to launch so we have everything. No point in releasing the project when people are going to continue to wait. So for us, the pyramid scheme's in beta. I can play it on my phone. We're going to build some more levels. And get that out there, get that working within our TCG metaverse, and then towards the App Store. The wireframing and all the NFTs are done for the trivia concept, and then that's going to be going into production after we finish this pre-sale or the private sale.
Miniclip, you definitely brought some memories over there with the Miniclip games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like you have great team on board over there, building your games, with lots of experience on known kind of companies out there when it comes to the game companies. Cool. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we're fortunate too now with our recent partnership with TCG World is they've hired the core Unity team. So they have a whole bunch of Unity developers as well that can help us implement, especially get that, Endless Runner or Pyramid Scheme game faster into the metaverse and then, to the App Store. So we have resources in the gaming community, which is great. In our partnership with Lulu Market, they have their own gaming sector as well. And we're going to be making our games somewhat interoperable as well. We're still figuring that out. We had an AMA with them this morning in our space, but yeah, so there's going to be things there too. So we have a lot of balls in the air regarding the gaming stuff, but it's fun.
Yeah, networking is key on this space, and on every space actually. If you're building something, you have a project or business. Now we can see that you have a DAO and charity. We can touch a bit on the charity aspect of the project, and how will it work? You mentioned in the beginning, of air, kind of dropping from the sky, but where is the funding going to come from? For the charity aspect of it.
I'm sorry, the funding. I can't see the screen, but you're sparring the funding for the project in and of itself?
For the charity. So you have a charity, but how are you going to pay towards the charity?
Oh, the charity. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, okay, charity. Sorry. Well, the charity it's a 501c3, so we're able to put in for grants and stuff like that. In fact, we're in contact with a grant writer that we're looking to have a meeting with later this week. But one of the people we're partnering with is NEXT, and he is an author and a researcher. You've seen him probably if you ever watched shows on Gaia. I think he's done history as well. He's certainly done Travel Channel, but he's going to be our main partner with the charitable initiative He's also the tour guide that leads the tours in ancient Egypt as well. He's a really neat guy with a lot of experience. Between him and then some other, TCG World is going to be a part of it as well. We're all going to be, we're going to be doing a lot of fun things to raise awareness for the initiative and for the charity. It's not necessarily, the funding isn't going to come out of the Two Lands ecosystem because it's a nonprofit. We're able to use the funding from the Everdeen Initiative in and of itself to fund the Everdeen Initiative. One of the things, I was going to make a major announcement, but I'll just make it right now because he's going to be part of it as well. So we just found out less than an hour ago that we're going to be collaborating on multiple different fronts with Rakim. If you know him, he's the godfather of hip hop here in the United States. So that announcement he's probably going to make today or tomorrow on his Instagram. But not only are we going to be doing an NFT collaboration with him, but he's very into pyramids and all that fun stuff. So we're going to be doing something with the Robot Initiative with him. We've even talked about concert tickets. So when you go to Ticketmaster, there'll likely be when you have the ticket, a concert ticket, they own the artist owns that space in between, like the headline and then all the QR code at the bottom, so, or on your phones as well. So we and him, he has the ability to put whatever he wants in there from an advertisement perspective. So my guess is what we're going to think about doing is just is getting some of that info for that charity right on those tickets, as well as him just in his community and at his concerts, and that kind of stuff. And there's other things too, like for instance, the Robot Initiative too. It's being built, by a major university in California. The mechanical engineering department, and then Scans Pyramid, who recently found the LiDAR, which found that the cavity in the Great Pyramid on March 2nd. They're going to be a part of this as well. So we're going to have resources, and it's actually the Everdeen Initiative proper, not Two Lands, not NXT, not Rakim, but the Everdeen Initiative, because of its 501c3 status, that will be dealing with and filing for the permits at the Giza Plateau.
Wow, I see. Yeah, I see you're well connected over there. Again, docuseries, Rakim, and who knows what else will come down the road. It seems that you're connecting each of the pieces together. And
yeah, it happened an hour ago. We're pretty psyched about it. We made an announcement here. We haven't even made an announcement yet in our group. In fact, I was pleasantly surprised. He wants to be in the docuseries as well. So we're setting that up as well for filming, even if we get him on a Zoom call. So.
That's huge, man. That's huge. Congrats.
He's going to be in some Sprite commercials this summer. He's going to be in some Sprite. Well, he was at the Grammys this year, but he's going to be in some Sprite commercials with Lotto. Is that how you pronounce her name? Lotto? But anyway, so he's going to be doing a massive marketing campaign over the summer, which is just going to help our cause and help really the robot cause.
Right on, yeah, huge exposure for you guys, and it's like a payoff in the end of the day for all your efforts and everything that you have done for such a long time. Really great.
Yeah.
Great news. Congrats for that. Now, when it comes to the token sales, so which we'll talk a bit more, like in regards of the private sale, what they're getting, all the benefits, etc. But why people should buy it? Like, what's kind of like why is it a good investment? Let's say, what's the key role of the token through the whole ecosystem?
Well, let's just break it down right off the top. So it's a $2.5 million market cap that if you get into this private sale right now. So we're launching, we're going to have another private sale number 2, and that's going to be at a $4 million valuation. And then we're going to launch at probably a $5 million valuation. So what that means for the consumer right now is it's an automatic 2X just by getting in by Friday, right? And that's before it hits the chart and goes up from there. And God knows where it'll go up from there. And what I can tell you about me and Zach is, and Kryptonite Marketing and everyone we're working with, and Tony from Moonbound, is we're going to make sure that all our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted, right? It's a large project with various different things going on. So we're going to make sure everything's timed perfectly. So why you're investing in a project, for a number of reasons. Number one, I get it. You want to make money. So does everyone, right? So I think from a value proposition, you're getting in right now best possible price this token will ever be. It's only going to go up as we, like just the pyramid, just the robot in the pyramid. It's going to make international news. We already were told it's going to be on CNN and all those things. Once it's funded, all we got to do is help them find the money. And now with Rakim on board, I think we're going to slowly be able to get there in the next 4 months. So, with the game, with 2 games coming, when we launch our metaverse, in TCG World, when we then partner with Lulu and some others as well, it's just, this thing's going to start to take wings. We're already talking about clothing lines, various other things. So it's only up in my opinion, at least in my hope. And we like to take care of our early investors too and reward people, and that's why we set up the tier structure we did with the NFT access passes. And I don't have them in front of me, but there are 3 tiers, and we think they're pretty cool as far as what it gets people. We're giving away someone, not only it's not in there actually, it's in our group. It might even be in your group, and I'm sure either Pandora or Sarah could share it. But these 3 tiers are going to get the most. They're essentially bulls in regalia, and they are going to be probably the most sought after and rare NFTs perhaps ever in our ecosystem, especially one with what they're going to give you. So we're looking forward to getting those into the hands of people, because even if you're not into the game, or even if you're not into the metaverse, they're going to be worth a pretty penny when we go live. So why get in? Honestly, because you're investing in me and you're investing in Zach, and I can promise you I don't like to lose. So we're going to make this work one way or another. Yeah, so it's, I guess for me, it's like you either want to get on the train or you don't. The train's leaving.
Yeah, man. I really like what I'm hearing so far, and
it's definitely been a passion.
I do have a question in DM. So isn't giving price prediction values making it secured in the eyes of SEC?
I didn't give a prediction. I'm just telling you what the valuation.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah, you can't predict price at all. I can predict what we would target a launch price at, though. Right? So I can't say you're going to make or gain money, but what I can tell you is based on the valuation. If we're going to launch at a certain price, well, I think we can do the math, right? If something's worth something today and it's worth double, 2 months from now, I think we can read between the lines to figure out that the valuation, you'd get more for your money now than you would 2 months from now. That's basically what I'm saying.
Right on. Cool. Really kind of like a big part of what you're building over there, I would say it's the marketing. And from from what again, I've been around your group and the project for quite a long time, and I think a big part of the marketing should be and can be Web 2, in the real world out there, because you have some games which the gaming industry outside of the crypto is huge. It's huge. It's the revenue part of it, it's really big. So how do you plan? You mentioned the beer over there. All the consumables, all the kind of like the alcohol part, and but yeah, overall, what's the plan of targeting the Web 2 people? Getting your games out there.
Yeah, great question, and that's the key. And I think that's what more projects are going to start to realize, and I think they already are starting to realize, is that in order to have utility these days, you have to offer real world utility. And also real world marketing, right? It's beyond Twitter Spaces and AMAs and shilling and all that kind of things. You want to get out there and get to the masses, because there's so many people out there that don't know what we do, and that was why the whole thing with the docu-series was so important to us. Not only is it Web 2 or mainstream marketing, if you will, because as they go to Amazon, but and other networks, but it's also a way to get people interested in crypto, and not just our project, but other projects, right? So, and then with the partnership with Rakim, and we're going to be doing an NFT collaboration with him, and I'm sure that'll sell out pretty quickly just with his fan base. And who knows, the sky's the limit from there as well. So And then, you add the gin in there and the beer in there, and those are fun though. We've also been in talks about like with board games and stuff like that. I'd love to get board games into stores like Walmart and Target and those kind of things to create additional revenue streams. Back to what I was talking about with not having to use our own token to pay ourselves salaries, but vest our tokens out 4 years and then take profits other ways through various different relationships and partnerships, right? But I feel like the docuseries is going to be a major segue for us into that market, the non-traditional crypto or the Web2 people, because it's going to be everywhere. We're going to have the opportunity, or we have the opportunity, to actually get into movie screens all throughout the United States if we want. So you could go see, whatever Guardians of the Galaxy or what have you, and we could put that in the trailer, that trailer before it. And if we want, and we can pick our theaters, pick our cities, but we have that access through a company called Screen Vision. And then moreover, the digital treasure hunt, right? So we'll have that, and we'll have that ability to make that thing hopefully go viral by a few things we're workshopping behind the scenes. But again, that's very much a Web2 thing. That's very much something that I want, just not crypto people. Like if someone can solve that riddle, it doesn't have to be someone that knows anything about crypto. But, obviously the reward will be paid in crypto, but that 1%. But we're really trying to target, mass adoption, if you will. That's kind of been and even with the game, right? So games like that trivia concept, games like Wordle or Words with Friends, right? I want you to be able to play our trivia game while you're standing on the line at TJ Maxx or sitting in your doctor's office or on a subway somewhere. I want it to be so mindless where you get in every day, you check in like Candy Crush, right? So that was our because we know we're not just targeting this specific niche of just, blockchain people and blockchain gamers, right? There's so many other people out there that we can put this in the hands of and introduce not only our project, but our cause.
100%. Lady Jade, I've seen you, keep unmuting yourself. But let's give the mic to her. Absolutely, I go for it.
I was just going to say, since you brought up marketing, from our standpoint, we're well versed in Web2, not just the typical crypto stuff that you may see on DGen projects or the normal stuff that every kind of firm pushes out and Telegram and stuff like that. And we also help in the real world with, real companies and LLC and everything. So we have a really good crossover, and we spent a lot of time with the bear market, building new things. Like we've just become a partner with Hulu to be able to be an ads manager there. All different types of ways that we can pursue, and have really thought out, since there's so many arms to the project and so many things that appeal to different people in different places, we're really kind of focusing and pinpointing each arm to the right audience. Because, somebody might be interested in pyramids, but they might not ever play a game. They might never care. They'll never open it. Some people might love trivia and absolutely nothing else. So really targeting all the people in the right ways. We've got the connections for it and the avenues to pursue it. So we feel really confident, and we're actually really excited to push all this stuff out.
Right. And yeah, I think the Web2 kind of like marketing itself will push the crypto side no matter what. But if it gets kind of like, as Jared was saying, even though I don't even myself like the word addictive, an addictive game, it's going to do well. And again, I really like myself this type of game, so definitely it's a game that I will download and play on a daily basis. And I know quite a few of my friends as well are excited about the history and learning all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a field, it's an issue. Like it can really, really do well. Because I can see you have a comparison table over here, like you have a really good UI, UX over there, engaging gameplay, etc. If it's attractive and addictive, I don't see why not. Right, you had your question. Your hand up, man. I have unmuted you.
I have. I've had my hand up for a long time. My arm's getting tired here. So I'm a big holder over in TCG World, and I've also already contributed to the private sale for 2 lands. I'm a big pyramid dork, and I'm wondering what do I need to do to come to Egypt with you? What's this contest? I came in a little late.
Well, yeah. So it's going to be there's going to be some parameters. We're probably going to do it so like within the first 5,000 holders. We haven't decided yet, but so within the first five, I would guess, be it like let's just say 5,000 holders. We want to make it for the early people that get in. We're going to pick 1 or 2 people and we're going to take them there. For the people that actually get in this pre-sale, or excuse me, the private sale. I keep calling it a pre-sale. The private sale right now, it's kind of a large contribution, but you get your name thrown in the hat when it meets, I believe it's the middle tier. So, but yeah, everyone has a chance to win, and I'm looking forward to getting on over there. I know David from TCG World is itching to get over there as well. So it's going to be fun. It's the first thing he told me when I met him. When are we going to Egypt? And I said, soon.
All right. we are going to compete together, bro. Let's see who is going to. Let's do it.
We could both win, Area.
I love it. Maybe if this turns into something,
sorry.
The project.
It'll be me. Sorry, I had to say that.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people, with all the things I talk about, be the docuseries, Treasure Hunt, the games, the charity, the robot, all that stuff is great. You know how many people tell me, "Hey, when can we go to Egypt?" I think we're gonna have to do something where it's funny too. NEXT, who's the guy that's on all the television shows and the tour guide for this esoteric tour, he's like, "Hey, let's figure it out. Let's put together like 12 people and let's go on over." And what's cool about him is, and he's got a really big YouTube channel, but what's neat about him is he also does other countries. So like he'll do like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, and then he'll go to Mexico as well. So he does it's like an Assassin's Creed game. Like 1 month he's here, the next month he's in a different region. It's pretty neat. But anyways, yes, I can't wait to get over there and other places as well.
Right. Yeah, really excited for that part. I mean, excited if you pick me. If not, we'll see. We'll talk about it.
It's gonna be random. Nothing to do it.
JR, you had your hand up. Go for it, bro.
Yes. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, Jared. I appreciate your time. You're definitely knowing what you're talking about. I work with Agritech, but first of all, to bring the God MC Rakim into your fold is amazing. From a real hip hop head. Yeah, I'm 49, so I grew up with that. That was my first tape that I ever bought. So that's amazing to me. The question I had was archaeology and alcohol. Archaeology. What is the vision for this? How does that come together? I'm just curious on the trajectory.
Great question. Well, believe it or not, did you know that the guys who built the pyramid of Menkaure were called the drunkards of Menkaure? In fact, I'm glad you brought this up in our trivia game. Yeah, they used to be paid in bread and beer every day. The ancient Egyptians were huge into beer. So, so that just seemed fun. And actually the power up, or one of the power ups that's going to be in our trivia game, Pharaohs of Aru, is beer. So you'll have to purchase beer. Think of it like spinach from Popeye, right?
I like
it. But the other aspect is just that I've been in a restaurant. I've been a restaurateur for many, many years. I've been in a restaurant business 20 years, and I've owned restaurants, and now I operate a large group here in the tri-state area. So for me, I have a lot of connections into distribution in the tri-state area. So it's pretty simple for me to get placements, not only in liquor stores, restaurants, all over, but also in the distribution houses. So it just seemed like a way for us to, from a branding perspective, to raise awareness, get it into the hands of regular people. Like someone's gonna, I think we're gonna call the IPA. It's gonna be IPA we're brewing. It's gonna be called From the Stars, because we like to say that instead of To the Moon. And but on that can is going to be some type of call to action with a QR code, where that person will be able to scan that QR code and then hopefully go to the Everdeen Initiative website and donate to the cause, and also view our socials here as well. But so for us, it's not only marketing, but it's a way to kind of drive people to that initiative. Same with Rakim. He's big into the pyramids. It's one of his passions. He sits at home all day, I guess, and watches Ancient Aliens. But he's into that kind of stuff. So
definitely.
on this, and a close friend of mine, since I was in the music business for many, many years, is his manager for the last 20 years. So he's on board, and we might even get some type of Instagram post or something later today or tomorrow from him. And then I was shocked but pleasantly surprised when he said he wanted to be in the docuseries. So we're going to film at least a conversation talking pyramids next Saturday with him. So, and I was invited to his ranch in Pennsylvania to play drums and smoke weed, and I'm not going to smoke weed. So anyways, that's the beer connection. Same with the gym, same deal. I have the ability to help get it placed all throughout, the tri-state area. So it's as much of a win for us as it is for the distillery.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the answer.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, JR. Thank you. Yeah, because I forgot to mention, your experience that you guys have when it comes to the hospitality, etc., and that it will be easy for you guys to push it. Even have it in the stores that you guys are operating with. Cool. Now, when it comes to your roadmap, how does your roadmap look down the road, and kind of like what are few things that you are most excited for?
God, yeah. Well, let's just see. Like every day, this project keeps taking new wings. So we're filming I keep losing track on what's next. But in and of a nutshell, what we're going to do is we're going to film this docuseries. We should have the trailer and/or sizzle reel first week of July. Probably after that, we'll do a second pre-sale, if you will, or private sale. And then waiting for that to, get to Amazon Prime Direct while the games are being built out, while the metaverse is being, our plot in the metaverse is being built out. The beer and stuff and the gin should be ready in July at some point, hitting stores. So all that kind of stuff is coming together within the next 6 weeks or so, give or take 6 to 8 weeks. And then we're looking to target launch at the end of August, God willing, based on market conditions. So we'll see. I'm not sure that our plot in TCG World would be done like that, but it might be done. It's definitely going to be done early fall. Treasure Hunt, we want to release prior to launch as well. So we're going to be figuring out how we execute that launch. It's already it's written and finished. That riddle is done, ready to go, ready for someone to solve. It's not easy. AI couldn't figure it out. But we're looking to figure out how to roll that out sooner than later too, to get, so we'll have the docuseries out, getting, people hyped up. We'll have the Treasure Hunt out. We'll get some beers in the store. We'll get the gin in the store. TCG will be giving us probably some snapshots of what they're building in the meantime. Same with the game development. They told us they can provide us with various things for Pharaohs of Arrow. That game. That's just a mock-up, but they'll be giving us things we could share with the community along the way. The Endless Runner Pyramid Scheme, which is like a tempo run for us, that's already in beta. I can play the first 3 levels on my phone, so we just have to decide how many levels we want and integrate that. So those are some of the and then the pyramid, the Giza and the pyramid, can't speak. The robot in the pyramid, that's just going to take money. So as soon as we can help fund that, and it's not just that, well, it kind of is just us funding that. It's the Everdeen Initiative funding it. But, people like Rakim, people like, the university that's building the robot and all and YouTube channels like History for Granite that have millions of viewers and all those kind of things, they're all going to be coming in to join the tribe to help raise awareness and get that thing funded, because they're estimating about anywhere from 175,000 to 225,000 for it to happen. Mainly what's crazy, it's all permitting. It's all permitting for the Egyptian government. So they want to be careful not to step on toes, and they have the ins to get it done. They just need the funding. So that's why we're all going to kind of band together and find, if half of Rakim's community, donated $1, we'd probably be there tomorrow. So, I don't think it's going to take as long as I would, hopefully in the fall, we'll be able to get that going, but it really depends on the Egyptian government.
Right. When it comes to the games, are you guys releasing kind of like doing beta testing with your community, or how do you test the games for bugs or any other errors?
Yeah, that's a great idea. We probably will be doing that because I do know we're going to send it back actually and get the runner. It's funny. I want to make it a little easier, and she's really good at games. So I found it from the runner perspective. It was a touch tough. So I want people to at least be able to get to the level. So as far as bugs and all that, yeah, we're going to work. Like, the whole point is we have some time still before we launch in the summer to fix these things and get it all worked out, get out the kinks. But yeah, I like that idea. Letting the community play. I'm all for it. Let the masses.
Yeah, more about to get like a sense of what's being built and get the excitement going when it comes to the community. It's good when they see their products being developed and they can engage, and at the same time when they can add their own kind of thoughts, opinions, maybe some developments and some development ideas or anything that they can contribute. I think it makes the whole community stronger down the road when they are part of it, right? They feel that they are part of it. Cool. Really, really good, cool stuff going on there. Again, I'm excited myself about the education part of it. You learn, you play, you learn. Anything? Let's see. Checking my notes. I've gone through everything. We have gone through all the questions in the main chat. Did I miss any question? I don't think so. Back to you, Jared. Kind of have we missed anything on first place that we have not touched on? I'm checking myself, but if there is anything that
that kind of covered most of the initiatives we have moving forward in the next handful of weeks here. We're moving into our office next week. That's fun. Two Lands office. We're looking forward to that. There's a Starbucks downstairs, so I'm happy. If any of you guys watch it, if anyone, I drink it every day, so hopefully I'll get some free Starbucks. But anyways,
where is the office going to be? Remind me.
When is it? We move in next Thursday.
No, sorry. Where is the office?
Norwalk, Connecticut, in an office park. So we'll be filming the doc series part of it there too. Yeah. So about 40 minutes outside of Manhattan.
Cool. But if there is so Ty official about the game, does the game has PvP or PvE mode?
Yep, it'll be both.
Both of the modes. Excited, man. Really excited and looking forward. Again, I've been following the project alongside with JB for quite a long time now. I'm lurking around. I'm not that engaging, but I'm always watching. But please do your own research, everyone. Jared, if you can drop again some information in regards of the private sale, that it's till Friday, right? It's going to be up until Friday.
Yeah, it ends in a couple days. So I encourage you guys, if you have any questions, please come on over and I'll answer them for you. Really excited to take this thing's next level. And, I'd love for you to be a part of it.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jared. And please, everyone, make sure you join their Telegram. Make sure you have everything to the website, white paper. And as always, please try to engage with the community, with the team over there. Ask questions. Do your own research. Do not ape, invest, or blindly. Feel sure about it. If you feel good with the team, with everything that they are building and they are about to deliver, go for it. If not, just stay around, stick around and see what, if they will deliver, and you can jump on board later on. But with that being said, thank you so much, Jared. I'm pretty sure that we are going to have you back for more updates and, announcements, more alphas down the road. But really excited for what you're building. Anything, any closing statement from your side?
I just can't thank you guys again. It's been such a pleasure. I've been wanting to get on here for a while, so I'm glad we were able to make it work so quickly. And I appreciate everyone and everyone sitting in today and listening. I know it went for a while. Mine tend to. but I really appreciate everyone. At the end of the day, it truly is a high mission project. So whether you're into gaming, whether you're into, what have you, just know that a large portion of it is truly trying to get out there and rewrite history and see uncover something that hasn't been seen for 4,500 years in the Great Pyramid.
Give me the beer.
That's coming too.
Yeah, actually, I like the UK part of it. So if you want someone to test your gin or beers in the UK, let me know. I can get that done for you.
That we definitely can do. The gin, they're trying to get to the UK sooner than later. So absolutely, beer might be
that's going to do really well here in the UK. Believe me. Especially if you manage to get like in touch and connect with a few pubs, like the big ones that have many pubs around the UK. It's gonna do well. But please, everyone, again, make sure you join their Telegram. Jared, thank you once again. It was a great AMA, and looking forward to have you back. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Everyone,
stay tuned. We'll have some questions. Yep.